I'd like to present to you the action plan and the action plan proposed in regard to the Arab Codex Initiative action plan, and to harmonize all the activities along with the activities and the action plan as adopted by the region through the past CCN East 12, and in close coordination along with the Secretary of the CSE East and the Arab Initiative for EDSMO and with GSO. Allow me please to present this document that we have sent to you. It is under the title of the action plan of the Arab Codex. As you know, this is the 5th year of the food codex for us among the work plan along with the community of the Arab Codex in close coordination with the Near East or standardization. The document starts with an introduction to put the framework of the proposed plan and to determine this action plan of this year is a 6-month action plan starting from this year, starting from CCFO for food and oils and ends in June. The time for the convening of the Arab Codex, the 49th session. Exceptionally, we have a season for a half year, then CAC 49. We will start with the fall season in preparation for CAC 50. And this action plan comes, as I mentioned, with the coordination with the national action plan adopted in CCN East 12, which covers from 2026 and 2027, and it was developed over the past season East and comes in coordination with the strategic plan of the Arab Codex 2026-2031. So this document that we are going to present quickly focus on the February to June period, and we are seeking to coordinate our works, especially along with the electronic work group that was established during CCN East 12 under the joint heading of Lebanon and Libya, that will follow up the results to start on the implementation of the action plan and to prioritize all items and providing all propositions and clarifications. So we will have the responsibility as the Arab Food Codex to coordinate with the EDSMO and all the competent parties to inform all of these matters and to coordinate our work with the activities of this EWG. In the second article, we remind everyone of the main tasks of the Arab Codex without any further details, that it is the same tasks that we used to do over the past years, but we need to have it more organized and stated clearly. Only the titles for reminding new members what are the main tasks of this initiative in close coordination, as I always say, between CCMS and CCN East and GSO and EDSMO, monitoring Codex activities as a timeline of the Codex, and to monitor documents issued by the Codex Alimentarius Commission. Secondly, one of the most important tasks, preparation for Codex Alimentarius committee meetings. In this season, we have 5 committees for preparation. And from here, we will deep in more details in regard to the mechanisms and methodologies that we propose to tackle the priority items in the agenda, determining the priority committees and the time items and schedule items, preparing memos, preparatory notes and technical analysis, priority agenda items prior to meetings for use nationally and at the regional coordination, supporting the organization of coordination meetings for Codex Alimentaris contact points in Arab countries and countries of the Near East. And here we seek to remind all Arab countries and Near East countries, especially for the presentation and participation of countries as Arab countries and countries as Near East. The main task and objective, which is always contributing to the coordination of regional positions and active participation of the representatives in the member states. In addition to strengthening systematic coordination with industry bodies and private sector stakeholders, where appropriate to support the exchange of relevant information into this coordination and supporting the organization of coordination activities among the regions in cooperation with regional coordination committees, including the symposia and meetings with other regions that we are going to present later on. Capacity building activities. Here, we always called our colleagues to participate in the workshops for training, enhancing the participation and providing the reports, preparation of reports for the meetings and publishing them at all platforms, providing the notes and recommendations or organizational notes, supporting the decision-making process at the regional level and international level, especially in this season, supporting the mechanisms of follow-up and monitoring in communication with the activities and the action plan as adopted by the countries. In the third part, we propose a framework for setting priorities for Codex committees. First, due to the action plan adopted and the decision as adopted, which is seeking to determine the priorities of the region and to work on and based on the priorities and determination of priorities. This proposal comes first to facilitate and to focus our work among the Arab Codex initiative and to harmonize all the action plans of the region. The framework as proposed starts with determination of the priorities at the level of committees, but in regard to this season of the 6 months that we are starting now, we have seen to propose to you to consider all the committees as a priority committees, and we included some reasons of this selection why we included them as priority. If we present the committees that we are working on in these months to come, we have the Codex for oil, and it is a priority committee, especially regard to olive oil and Pomace oil. We have the analysis and sampling committee first, as we have convened EWG in the CCN 12. It will review all the standards at the regional level and industrial standards, and it will give proposals complement all the parts in regard to analysis. Here, it comes at the importance of this committee and to follow up the item in regard to the analysis techniques for allergens. It is as a priority item. The CC for waste, CCRVDF, especially in regard to participate to find the maximum levels of the residues of the drugs through methodologies of inductive methodology and to be included in the priority list. The CCFA additives, which is a permanent committee, the CCFL, especially for the item in regard to the labeling and harvesting, and the item for the harvest country. So, quickly, these are the committees that we are going to work on and to follow up them. The methodology and the work approach. It is a methodology which is very simple. Thanks for you for your participation. If what we call the first test to implement this methodology focused on CCFO, which is a clear methodology based on the evaluation, quantitative evaluation of the items in the agenda based on 3 standards. If we have the ability to go further in the document, these criteria, importance to public health and food safety, and the regional impact and capacity building, feasibility also. Further in these details, as they are available, we have a lot of questions and matters and notes as an annex for this document. And the evaluation system, which is based, as we mentioned, on the quantitative evaluation. 3 points here. If we give the first item, it is considered a very low importance or low priority, second average, third high. Then we can propose to calculate the total of the results and the average of the calculations of all countries. Then we can classify all of these items, whether high, average, or low priority or importance. Here, if you give me the permission, due to the sum of scores resulting from the first test CCFO, we will have an opportunity to get more details about the implementation process of this methodology. But we have 2 points I need to stress. First, we wish when we implement this methodology to take some time in regard to reading the agenda items and documents of relevant topics, and to read the directive questions before we put a mark or a degree of the item. So we cannot put degrees or low degrees for every item, as this will mean the whole committee is without any priority, and we will agree on the priorities of the agreement, the committees. We cannot put high degrees for all the items of the agenda, because that will contradict with the methodology that we implement, which is focused on the priority categorization in order to reach a good evaluation of the priority. There is an annex to present the details of the criteria. Now, in regard to the implementation of the action plan, as usual, during the past year and based on our expertise in the previous years, we propose to work to implement this action plan through some committees or expert groups at the regional level. So after completing the prioritization of every committee, we will hold working groups, specialized working groups like CCFO, and the first meeting will be tomorrow. The idea as follows: as adopted last year, to send an official letter for the focal points and to name some experts, and we wish the people who are named to be experts in the relevant technical field of the committee. And the convening of the committees is started, and now we will present the objectives of the action plan and the work flow of the committee. As we convene CCFO committee, then there will be a very close meeting after CCFO. We will convene the 4 committees and expert groups at the same time. So these committees will have enough time to discuss all the details before the meeting. All the working groups will have the responsibility first to analyze the results of the quantitative assessment to determine priorities. So the expert group will analyze the results of the quantitative assessment and will put the priorities. Then conducting the necessary technical and organizational analysis and preparation of technical agreements and documents to support the regional coordination and proposing national and regional positions when necessary. Monitoring the work of the electronic working groups and relevant Codex committees and circulatory letters and follow up the on-calls related to data submission. So we will gather all the technical works for an initiative among these work groups. Also, facilitation will be provided to implement the workflow of these working groups by a G-Force member and a personality to be named from the CCNE secretary team in order to handle coordination. Now, regard to timeline, this proposal, as you know, is always in coordination with the CCNE coordinator and the Arab Codex Initiative coordinator. We will coordinate to send the invitations and in regard to determine the timelines. These are just proposed times and dates to give an idea of the timeline. This is in regard to the timeline. Allow me, please, Dr. Amine. In regard to this time, the date, is it the date of the meeting of the committee? Yes. And we have the coordination meeting also. All of these are proposals, and upon coordination with everyone and Mr. Ahmed Al-Basha, we will determine the final dates. As we mentioned, the expert groups will work to prepare for these meetings in prior time. The sixth article is in regard to proposed capacity building activities. Here are some of the activities that we propose as the G-Force organization in coordination with the EDSMO and coordination with CCNE coordinator. As usual, as we are used to, there will always be some activities during the season for capacity building in coordination with EDSMO and CCN East, and will be in coordination with the timeline of the capacity building programs of the G-Force. As a proposal, we propose to you to organize a series of electronic webinars focused on digging deep more in regard to the details of the methodology of the workflow in the Codex, and focused on scientific parts and organizational parts more accurate. We have a lot of proposals here, and the G-Force organization will have a table of activities that we will share with you. We can share some of the activities with you through this document, but we call you and invite you to follow up the activities table, and we invite you to participate with us, whether in person or virtual. Some of the proposed activities, always the Arab Forum for Near East, the fifth version for this year. So we will convene it along with you, the fifth webinar, and the date is tentative. It will be discussed later, the final date. We propose a workshop for the Arab strategy for the management and addressing scientific and organizational aspects based on the workshop that we convened in Amman and Muscat last year. We will provide you the final dates on some of the forums and symposia as a G-Force and the organization at the international level. These are the forums that we hold in North America and West and East of the Pacific or Asia. Also, we will invite you for the participation, and the sessions will be, some of the sessions will be virtual, and the main meeting, it will be convened focused on the Arab section of AOC International, which is a hosted and under the Arab Initiative EDSMO and operated by GeForce. We invite you also to follow up the activities through the link, and welcome for any participation. And finally, in regard to the sources and the documents in regard to these activities, we remind you that all documents and the recordings of the meetings and the reports and the documents of analysis, all of them are published through these links that you have. And we will work to bridge any gaps in regard to the updates. We will provide you any updates. We will keep you updated, and we will update all documents and links. We have two annexes for this document. The first, the detailed methodology. If you have any questions or inquiries after the implementation of CSFO, we are ready to get more details. And Dr. Intisar, after your permission, in the next periods, we can determine sometimes for more details and for technical aspects of this methodology. And we have another annex. We are very keen to include it, which clarifies the consolidation of the implementation of the activities in the initiative, along with the proposed action plan for 26-27 years. We adopted the same agenda in the last version, CCN East 12, and we added the activities of the Arab Initiative that are very relevant once again. And at the end of my intervention, we emphasize that all activities, we need them to be consolidated fully with the activities of the region and the strategic objectives of the CCNE coordinator and the EDSMO and GSO. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.